This conference will now be recorded.
Good evening, everyone. I suppose Monday was working for many of the colleges, and still after a hectic college hour from 9 to 4 or 9 to 5, probably we are still back for a demo lecture in evening. Taking into account your college schedule and your saturation level as well, we decided to start first with a simple topic of basics of data interpretation. So we'll be having a discussion briefly with regards to data interpretation. What are the number of questions which usually come from data interpretation? What are the different strategies to go about solving questions on DI? So DI is basically standing for data interpretation. We'll be questions within pie charts, different line graphs. We've taken a few examples today, a few tricks being involved during the session. Our rule stays the same with regards to the question answer session throughout the time. If you don't understand any question, ensure you put it up in the chat box. So I suppose you all might be able to see a symbol right on the, if you have joined from your mobiles, you will be able to see a symbol of messenger. All right, I guess my voice had cut in between. I suppose I'm audible now. So just to take things ahead and keep it more easy with regards to pharma MBA, while how a pharma aspirant can make a difference to this particular domain. That's the reason we trying to create awareness with regards to opportunities in pharma MBA. All the best and get started with your queries. Ensure that we are all on one lines and you understand each and every question. Thank you so much. Pranay, over to you. We can get started.
Hello guys, I hope I am audible. Uh, yeah, so good evening. So we'll start with data interpretation. I am Pranay. I've done my MBA from Sydenham Institute of Management. So I attempted my CET in 2018, in which I could score 99.8, 99.9 percentile, through which I could get into Sydenham. Uh, so we'll get into the basics of data interpretation. How is data interpretation important? Uh, yes. So data interpretation basically forms a part of mathematics itself. You need to understand what are the graphs already attached are present, and apply some mathematical concepts and come up with an answer. So majorly the concepts that are required are the percentage, average concept. So here the questions that I have covered in upcoming slides involve some percentage and average basics. So I'll get into this basics of mathematics first, and then I'll start with data interpretation charts. Even if this is just an overview of percentage, not we are not getting into details of it. That would be covered once we start with percentage. But just so that everybody would have an idea, we'll go ahead with this. Okay. So what is percentage? Percentage, as the name suggests, it is percent. Cent normally means 100, right? So it is per 100. Uh, Okay, so somebody, everybody must have heard we say I've scored a 90% mark. What does that mean? I've scored 90 if you consider the basic as 100, right? So I've if the total marks are considered as 100, I have scored 90 in it. right? So that is what percentage means. So anywhere if you see it is written as 50%, you directly write it as 50 upon 100. That is the concept. Percent means 50 upon 100. So as I have given an example here, 50% directly means 50 upon 100 is equal to 1 by 2 equals to 4.5 is the actual value. If somebody says it is 30%, directly write it as 30 upon 100. So the value would be 0.3. I hope this is clear. So what are the concepts that come in case of percentage then? So many a times we see, consider an example in test 1, you have scored 80 marks. And in test 2, you took that, you increased your scoring capacity and you have scored 90 marks. So you have increased it by some value, right? You have increased the value by 10. So what is the percentage increase if you want to see? So if you have increased the score by 10, so whenever we see increase, the initial value is always considered as the first score that you have gained. So earlier I had scored 80 marks and then I went into 90. So the initial value was 80 marks, right? So whenever we consider percentage increase, we always consider with respect to initial value 80 marks, which is considered at the base, and the increase would be calculated in this way. I'll just highlight. So the increase would be 90 minus 80, 10 mark increase, divided by 80 into 100. I hope this concept is clear. How do we calculate the increase? The only thing you need to remain is it is always considered keeping the initial value as base. When we would be learning this percentage chapter, we'll get into the details of this overview. I'm just giving it so that you would be able to solve the questions that will be coming up in the graph. Okay, so the second concept is, let me know if you have understood in the chat, if you have understood the basics of percentage. Okay, so now coming to average. Suppose let's consider you have let's consider the same example. Earlier you had scored out of a 20 mark test, you have scored 10 marks in the first test, 12 marks in the second test, and 18 marks in the third test. Now if you want to calculate the average basically means the mean, the middle, not necessarily middle, but however, what is the mean? I'll tell you the formula of the mean. Mean is sum of all entire this 18 plus 12 plus 10 divided by what are the number of terms, number of tests that you have given, 1 2 3, right? So you have given 3 tests, so average will be calculated as 10 plus 12 plus 18. So as I have written here in the formula, sum of all the numbers divided by total numbers. Exactly, so this is coming out to be 40 divided by 3. This is how we calculate average. I hope this is clear. Is my voice audible now?
Barkha, it seems a problem at your
Yes.
end. You can leave and rejoin. So I suppose that might solve it.
Anybody who has not understood the concept, only these two things, just put a message. I'll repeat again, no issues. So the yes means you have understood. I'm taking this as consideration. So let's move ahead then. So what is the weightage of DI? So let me get into these two examinations, MBA CET, which is upcoming in February, and another is CAT, which would be there, which normally happens somewhere around November. So in MBA CET, there are 50 questions which come from quantitative aptitude. Out of those 50 questions, it is for sure that 15 to 20 questions will come from data interpretation. So data interpretation only requires some basic of mathematics to be applied. The rest of the answers would come directly from the graphs, which we'll be learning in the future, in the upcoming slides. So this is how much is the weightage. If we consider 20 out of 200 question, it involves 10% weightage, which is a good enough number to target. 4 to 5 sets come around. If we solve one set, we get 4 to 5 questions attached to it, so we can make all those questions correct that way. And in CAT, if I consider CAT, it majorly happens in the caselet form. You won't get a direct question, but there will be caselets where you will also have to apply some logical reasoning and then come with the answer. So the pattern of the question in CET and CAT are different. However, the basics remain the same. How we need to learn the graph, that would still remain the same. Okay, so let's move ahead. What are the different types of data interpretation sets? There are line chart, bar chart, pie chart, table chart, and mixed chart. We'll get into all these. Let's directly get into it. So first, line chart. You must be seeing there is a chart here and a question attached to it. So how do we read a line chart? Basically, so this y-axis, this everybody knows is a y-axis. Here, read number of passengers who travel to Mumbai to Delhi, from Mumbai to Delhi in different days in thousands. So this data is given in 1000, and the number of people travel is this on different days, as it is mentioned, is this Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, right? So how do we read it? It is given in blue. Whatever is given in blue is in are the total passengers. So these are the total passengers that travel. And so if I want to consider how do I read this, the total passenger who travel on Sunday, let's see the intersection. Total passenger who travel on Sunday are 120. It is written here. However, even if it is not written, we can see from here it is coming out to be 120. Is that clear? Similarly, this red color shows female passengers, brown color. Yeah. So the total female passengers that are traveling on Sunday come out to be, see, it is somewhere around 60 to 80 in the middle of this. So it is 70 as it is given. This is how we read it. Total female passengers traveling on Sunday are 70. Total passengers traveling on Sunday are 120. Those are in thousands. However, for calculation, we don't need that currently. Okay. So let's get into this question and we'll see whether we have understood. Try to solve this question by yourself and let me know how many of you come up with an answer. Put the answer in case you come up with it in. Great, someone has given an answer already. Let's see if it is right or not. Find the average of female passenger who travel from Mumbai to Delhi during all the given days. Average, this concept I've already taught you. We'll come back to it again. However, let's break this question. Female passengers who travel from Mumbai to Delhi on all the given days. All the given days means Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. All these days we need to calculate. What are the female passengers who travel from Mumbai to Delhi? Let's see. Which color signifies female passenger? Brown. So these all numbers we'll have to add. On Monday, 70 female passengers travel. On Sunday, 70 female passengers travel. On Monday, 85. On Tuesday, they are 60. On Wednesday, 70. On Thursday, it is 100. Right? As you can see. So let's just calculate what are the total numbers. 70 plus 85 plus 60 plus 70 plus 100. Okay, divided by. How do we calculate average? As we have learned earlier, In the previous slide we have seen. Average is sum of all the numbers divided by total numbers, right? So sum of all the numbers we have already written here. What are the total numbers? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So we'll directly divide it by 5. Let's see what the calculation comes. 70 plus 60, 130, plus 70, 200, 300, 385 is equal to 385 by 5. So it is correct that the answer is 77. Somebody had already answered it. Great, many have. Some have done some calculation mistakes, 75, 76. Other than that, I think everybody has got the concept. So our main aim here is to know how to read this particular chart. Calculation is fine, great, you have done it. However, ensure that you know how to read this particular chart. Next question would be somewhat tricky. Let's see how many of you do it. So this is the explanation, 77 is the answer, right? So now try to solve the second question. This is somewhat tricky, not very, but if you have understood how to read the chart, you'll be able to do it. Those who got 75, guys, 385 by 5 is 77. So you must have got 385 as the sum, but maybe you have made some issues on this. Okay, let's see how do we read it. Whenever we target a data interpretation question, if the question is big, let's try to break the question. Find the ratio between the total number of male passenger who travel on Sunday and the number of female passenger who travel on Thursday. So first try to find total number of male passenger who travel on Sunday. Our first target is total number of male passenger who travel on Sunday. How are we going to find it now? So we know total passenger who travel on Sunday, 120, right? Total passenger who travel on Sunday is 120. Total female passengers who are traveling on Sunday, as we can see from the brown color, total female passenger who travel on Sunday are 70, right? So out of 120 total passenger, if 70 are the female passenger, what would be the remaining passengers? The remaining would be male, right? So the remaining male passengers will be 50. 120 minus 70. As it is said, total number of male passenger who travel on Sunday. Let's get into the data of only Sunday. Total passengers are 120, out of which 70 are female. So the rest who lie in this between are male, which comes out to be 50. Now get into the second part. So we have got an answer for the first part. This is first. Now get into the second part. The number of female passenger who travel on Thursday. So let's get into Thursday first. And what showcase female passenger? This red line. That means this. So on Thursday, how many female passengers are there? 100. Right? As you can see here. I hope this is clear. Let me know in the comment if this is clear. This is coming out to be 100 as it is mentioned also there. So the answer of part 2 is 100. And what are we asked? The ratio between the two, between these two, right? So what would the ratio? Ratio will be, we know 1 divided by 2. That is how we find the ratio. This is what we have learned in 5th, 6th standard, right? I hope you know. Otherwise, for those who don't know, ratio is always first upon second. Exactly, many have answered correctly. Great, guys, great. Someone has answered 5:1. Maybe you have taken inverse. No, 5:1 won't come. It is 100, not 10. Great, otherwise. most of you could solve it. If anybody has not understood, just let me know. I'll explain it again. Okay, there is a solution written over here as well. So the total number of male passengers are 50. Total number of male passenger traveling, this is female actually. Second, female passenger traveling 100, and the ratio would come out to be 0.5. Great. Let's get into the next question. Those who have not understood, let me know in the comment section. Try to solve this one. Okay, there. I'll take it once again. Okay. So I hope let's start from how to read the chart itself. We are asked find the ratio between total number of male passengers who travel on Sunday and the number of female passengers who travel on Thursday. So these are two parts. Let's get into the first part. Total number of male passengers who travel on Sunday. Now we have two data. We have total passengers. Total passenger will constitute male plus female, and we have data about female already given. So how will we find male out of those? Male will be total passenger minus female passengers. I hope this is clear. So we have total passengers traveling on Sunday as 120, as mentioned here, we can see, and total female passengers are 70. So the total male passenger would be 120 minus 70, 50, right? And then we get to second part of the question. Number of female passengers who travel on Thursday. Female passengers are shown by red. This is red. On Thursday, this is Thursday. It is already given 100, right? So it is 100. Now we are asked to find the ratio. Ratio is directly 50 first divided by second, 50 by 100, 1 by 2. 1 by 2 is the ratio. Okay, I hope it is clear now. This is the third question. Just get into solving the third question. Find the difference between the total number of male passengers who travel on Tuesday and the total number of female passengers who travel on the same day. Again, we would apply the same approach. We'll break down the question into two parts, since there are two different questions. So the first part will be the total number of male passengers who travel on Tuesday. This would be the first part we need to find out. Then we'll go ahead for the next part, the total number of female passengers who travel on the same day as in Tuesday. And once we find these two, we'll get into the difference of it. We'll find the difference afterwards. So let's get into finding the first part, the total number of male passengers who travel on Tuesday. So we are asked for Tuesday. Let's get into Tuesday first. Let's leave all those rest of the lines. Only look at Tuesday. Total number of male. Do we have info about male? No, we have total passenger info. We have female passenger info. So we'll calculate male by subtracting from the female passengers from the total passenger. So total passengers are always, let me show you once. Total passenger constitute male plus female. We have info about this. Total number of female passengers traveling on Tuesday is 60, right? Total passenger traveling on Tuesday are 110. As we can see, total passenger is represented by blue. Here it is given on Tuesday, it is 110. So 110 is equal to male plus 60. So male will be 50. I hope this is clear. Traveling on Tuesday. So the first part is clear. Let's get, so the first part answer will be 50. Let me mark as 1. The total number of passengers, total number of female passengers who travel on same day, that means Tuesday. total number of female passenger traveling on Tuesday, we can directly see female passenger are represented by red. Female passenger traveling on Tuesday are 60, right? This is the second part. Now all we have to do is find the difference. Difference means first minus second, or second minus first, whichever is greater, we'll find the difference. So 60 minus 50, the difference will be 10. I hope this is clear. If it is not, just let me know in the comment section. Great, most of you have answered. So I can see that most of you are able to read the chart, and that is our aim currently. How do we read a particular chart? This mathematics part of it will be anyway covering in the math section once we start teaching it. However, it is extremely important we know how to read this particular chart. So we have seen line chart currently. Anybody who is not clear, let me know in the comment section. There is no issue. In case you find it difficult to understand, we'll explain you again. No issues. So here is the solution. Total number of passenger 110 minus 60 is equal to 50. As you can see, total number of female passengers traveling, difference is 60 minus 50, 10. Answer is 10. Looks it is clear mostly. If anybody has not understood, write the comment. Till then we'll go ahead. Now comes the bar chart. So how do we read a bar chart? The technique is similar. However, earlier one was line. Here it would be represented by bar. So this population of two states over the years. So it is heading population of two states over the year. So these are the two states. State A is represented in blue color, state B in brown, as can be seen. So this is the info of state A, state B. This is the info of state A, as can be seen from the color combination here. I hope everybody can see. So population of two states over the year. In the year 2001, population of state A, which is represented by this blue color, is here, this one, 40. Here on the y-axis, it is mentioned population. On the x-axis, there are years, right? So in the year 2001, if we see total population for state A, which is represented by the blue color, is 40. And for state B in 2001, since it is written above 2001, this would represent the population for 2001 itself, right? First, and the color represents state B. State B is having population in 2001 as 50, as it is lying in the middle of 40 and 60, it will be 50. So that is how we read it. Once we start solving the question, I'll again explain this. So let's see what is the question. What is the average population of state A? Only state A is asked for all the given years across all this year, 2001, 2002, 2003 till 2007. What is the population of state A? We need to find the average. So average is sum of all, first sum divided by total number of years. Here it will be total number of years, right? Because we are finding it across multiple years. So the total number of years are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2001, 2002, 2003. Total number of years are 7. So in the denominator, it will come as 7. For the numerator, we will have to find the sum. So try it out, guys. Let me know if you have understood how to read this chart. If you have not, I'll repeat again. Okay, some have answered as well. So guys who have not understood how to read it, let me know. Okay, so let's find the sum for state A. State A is represented in blue. So let's see. For in 2001, state A, the sum population is 40. In lakhs, we don't need to consider lakhs every time, since every value is in lakhs. So we will anyway get the answer in lakhs only. So in 2001, it is 40. In 2002, let me know what is the value. Since 40 to 60, middle will be 50, right? And this particular value is in the middle of these two, 40 and 50. So it will obviously be 45. Whenever the value, exact value is not mentioned, we consider the round of figure itself. So 45 is the round of figure. Now let's get into state A. 2003. In 2003, how much is the population? You can directly see from the line, it is 60. In 2004, what is the population? It goes to the middle of 40 and 60 now. If you can just join straight, you'll see it goes to the middle of 40 and 60, which is 50. Then getting into this 2005, it comes out to be in the middle of 60 and 80. It comes out to be 70. Then 2006, again it is 1/4, right? So it is middle of 60 and 70. It will be 65. Here it will be 80. For 2007 it will be 80. So let's add those all up and divide it by 7. Divided by 7, as there are total 7 years. So when we find the average, we find sum of all divided by total number of years that it is divided into. So we'll get the final answer. I hope most of you have solved it. So I'll show the final answer then. Okay. So the total is coming out to be 410, approximately 58, right? Fair enough. So most of you have got it right. So there's no option near to 58 up 58.7 apart from 58. So this will be the only answer. 52 is very far, 50 is far, 48 far, so 58 is the final answer. Okay. I hope everybody has understood how to read this bar graph. If somebody has not, leave a comment. Till then, we'll proceed to next question. Try to solve this. Again, a similar approach, but two different states are asked here. Okay. What again, we'll break it into two parts. What is the ratio of total population of state A for the year 1, 2, and 3? Second part will be the population of state B for the year 5, 6, and 7. Just solve it part by part, and I hope you will get the answer. Okay. So total population of state A for the year 1, 2, and 3. State A represented in blue. Let's cross check again. State A in 2001, 40 plus state A in 2002, 45 again. It is 1/4 of this. Half will be here. It is somewhere lying in here, this one. So 45, and 2003 it is 60. We can directly see it, 60. This is the first part. Now get into second part. We'll solve it for state B. State B, go and cross check. It is represented by brown color, and the years are 5, 6, and 7. Get into brown color. 2005, 80. First value is 80, as the line represents. Here somewhere, here the line goes. In 2006, it is 90. It is in the middle. And in 2007, it is directly 100. As we can see, this line goes to 100. So for the first part, we get 145. For the second part, we get 192.70. How do we calculate ratio? Ratio is equal to 1 divided by 2. Okay, so we'll get the final answer. Final answer is there. I just want to see how many of you have answered it. Yes, most of you have done it. Great. Anybody who has not understood, leave a comment, and I'll again explain how to read the bar chart, or whatever part you have not understood, just let me know. Okay, we'll see the final answer. Yes, here it is, 145 by 270. Correct. Great, guys. I can see most of you are understanding it. Those who are not, let me know again. Till then, let's solve the next question. Again on the similar lines. Easy to do. All we have to do is calculate the total population and take a difference. If you have understood how to read the chart, we can directly solve it. Difference in the total population of state A. Total population of state A for all the years is mentioned. So total population of state A, 40 plus 45 plus 60 plus 50 plus 70 plus 65 plus 80. Adding all these for state A, as state A is in blue color. Then go state B. We'll find how. Just see brown color for every year. This 50 plus 40 plus 60 plus 70 plus 80 plus 90 plus 100. Let's get into the calculate. Let me see how many of you have answered it. Okay, do the calculation then. So the total population for state A, as we have calculated earlier as well, while we had to find average. So total population of state A is 410. So we could have used that particular value again. So many a times this calculation, every time a data interpretation question comes out, it has 4 questions attached to it, 4 to 5 questions. So many a times we need to use the same calculation which we did in the previous question again. So just remember what we did, because doing the same calculation again and again wastes our time. So that is how we can save our time later. Total population for state B comes out to be 490. So difference is 80. Someone has answered 90, just check it again. Yes, 80 is correct. Great, guys. Someone has answered 500. Let me know if you have not understood. I'll repeat. Okay, I hope this is clear now. We'll go to the next question. So we have learned how to read a line chart, a bar chart again. Now we'll get into a pie chart. How is a pie chart represented? So pie chart is always shown in the circular form. This is a 3D figure I've used. Some figures will be 3D, some figures will be only 2D. In a way that circle will be drawn, and then it will be shown that this is 20%, this is 40%, that way, and this is 40%. So this is how also a pie chart is represented. However, this pie chart shows that UK, here the data is already given, distribution of overseas tourist traffic from India. So the number of people going to UK from India are 10%. USA are 40%, Japan is 30%, others 20%. So many a times here it is already represented in percentage. Many a times it will be given that this is 2, quantity 2, this is 5, this is 4, and this is again 5, something like that. Then you need to find out what is the sum of this 5 plus 4 plus 5 plus 2, 16, and then find the separate percentage. We'll see that once we get into the detail. Now just try to solve this particular question. I hope you have understood how to read a pie chart. This is a pie chart and this is the distribution given. So let's find the answer to this particular question, and then we'll understand whether we have understood or not. What percentage of Indian tourists went to US or UK? So all we have to do is find the percentage of people who went to US, find the percentage of people who went to UK, and add those up. So the percentage of people who went to US are 40, who went to UK are 10. So 40 plus 10 is equal to 50. So 50 is the answer. This was an easy question. Our intention was to explain you how to read a pie chart. So here is the answer. I hope you have understood it, or let me know. Right, guys, most of you have answered correctly. Great. Let's try to solve the next question. What is the ratio of number of tourists that went to UK and the number of tourists went to Japan? So from the same pie chart, somewhere average would be asked, somewhere difference would be asked, somewhere percentage increase would be asked, and somewhere they would just ask ratio. So here ratio is asked. Ratio of the tourists that went to UK. Tourists that went to UK are 10%. Tourists that went to Japan are 30%. So the ratio will be 10 by 30. So I hope you have now understood how to read a pie chart. This was an easy question again. Enough. Let's get into next question, which would be somewhat tricky, because that involves not because of the pie chart, but because of the percentage concept the next question involves. So now try to solve this. I'll give you some time. Try to solve this and then I'll get into this. Great. Most of you have answered correctly. Great. By what percentage are the number of tourists going to USA more than UK? Now there is a difference in this question. Here we are given percentage, not the numbers. In case the number of people going was given and this question was asked, it would have been somewhat easy, but so let's just consider since the entire percentage, entire circle would add to be 100, right? Always, because the circle would represent all the quantities. So it would be 100% always. 30 plus 40, 70 plus 10 plus 20. So it is 100%. So let's just consider that the total number of tourists going are 100. Let's just consider a number. The total tourists that went from India are 100. So the number of people going to USA will be 40% of 100, right? So that would come out to be 40. I hope this is clear till now. If we consider total number of tourists going to be 100, so 40% of 100 will be 40. Now total number of tourists going to UK are 10% of 100, that is 10. What are we asked? What percentage of the number of tourists going to USA more than UK? In case we are asked more, we directly get into the difference. What is the difference? By how much is it more? So the difference would come out to be 40 minus 10. Right? Let me check. Most of you, no, actually it is not 30. That That was the trick, which would be covered in percentage chapter. However, I can see that you guys have read the pie chart correctly. Till here, you are correct. Till this 30 value, you guys are correct. However, we are asked to find the percentage. So whenever we find percentage, basic concept is we more than UK is asked. Number of tourists going to US more than UK. So UK will always become the base. UK will become the base, and we are asked to find the percentage, not the number. So once we are asked to find the percentage, we directly multiply it by 100. In case you are asked the percentage, so you have given a test of 50 marks and you scored 40. And if someone asks you find the percentage of the marks you have scored, so you directly do 40 out of 50 into 100, right? And then you get the percentage by solving. So it would come out to be 80%. That is how we need to find here. So we are given difference, which comes out to be 30. More than UK is said, so that would become the base value with respect to which we have to find, which was 10. And to convert it into percentage, we multiply it by 100. So the answer will be 300%. Even if you guys have not understood, no issues. This would be covered in percentage chapter. That this would require some basic from percentage. However, you were correct till this value. So this is the final answer. If you have not understood, let me know. Some guys have answered 300 correct. Great guys. Anyone who has not understood, just leave a comment. I'll come down to this question again if required later. Okay, so we have covered pie chart, bar chart, and light chart. So the fourth type of chart is table chart. Or our aim here again is to see how to read a chart. We'll be able to solve questions once we read the concepts from mathematics as well. However, we must know how to read a particular chart. So the following table represents the number of employees in 5 different organizations in 12, 13, 14. So 5 different organizations. PQ, RST are the organization as they are mentioned below organizations. And in 2012, 13. So these are the years that are mentioned. There are 4 years, right? So what does this show? In organization P, in the year 2012, the total number of employees were 5,000. This is all it means. In the organization P, in the year 2013, the total number of employees were 8,800. What does this suggest? In the organization R and year 2013, total number of employees working were 6,500. That's it. In the organization S and year 2014, total number of employees working were 9,000. This is how we read a chart. Table chart is read this way. We find the intersection point and those two would represent something. So let's get into the question and we'll understand the concept better. Okay. Is this? Let's try this first question and then we'll get to know. Guys, feel free to say that you have not understood. No issues. That is how you will clarify. Okay, try this first question. Find the total number of employees in all the organization in 2013. In 2013, what are the total number of employees in all the organization, not just one organization, in all the organization. So let's just first go to 2013. In all the organization P, Q, R, S, T. So what is the intersection point of these? This would be right, and for the year 2013. So in 2013, organization P had these many employees. 8,000, 8,800. Organization Q had these many employees. R had these many. So you just need to find sum of all these. That is our final answer. I hope this is clear. And that is how you read a table chart. Yes, yes. So you answered it correctly. Uh, Someone has said not understood. Was it for the previous concept or this one? For the previous concept, right? Okay, I'll come to that concept again later once I complete these all charts. Okay, okay. I'll come to that concept again. Let's try to solve second question here. Okay, okay. I'll come to pie chart again. Once we complete this table chart, we'll. So try to solve this question and then I'll explain. Find the difference between number of employees in the organization S in all the years together. Again, this question involves two part. We'll break that into two part. Find the difference between number of employees in organization S in all the years together. This is the first part. And number of employees in 2014 in all the organizations together. This is the second part. Break that into two parts and then try to solve it. Okay, let me get into this. Find the number of employees in organization S. First, you are said organization S. Go to organization S directly. In all the years together. So you have to find for all the years 12, 13, 14. So you have to add this plus this, since that would be for organization S, this, and this. So first part I'll solve. Employees in organization S in all the years together. Employees in organization S in 2012, the employees are 8,000. In 2013, the employees are 4,800 for organization S only for this line. Right? Then 2014 it will be 9,000. 2015 it is 5650. So sum would come out to be 12,800 plus 9,000, 21,800 plus 5650. So it is somewhere around 27450. Let's just cross check if you have got the same. So this is the answer to the first part in all the years. Now get to the second part. And the number of employees in 2014 in all the organization together. Now 2014 is common. So this 2014 in all the organization together. In organization P in 2014, in organization Q in 2014, in organization R in 2014. That is how we'll be solving S and T. Adding all these will finally give us the answer. 3,600 plus 1210 0. So that addition would come out to be 4,900. So in BI this calculation comes, however this calculation is time consuming. So all we need to do is reduce this calculation time, and then that is how we can save the time. Otherwise the questions are doable. I hope these two things are clear. And finally, all we have to do is find the difference. Difference between these two. Sorry, 14450. Yes, you're right. Anybody who has not understood this concept, just leave a message. We'll be anyway going to the pie chart. I'll cover that again. However, if everybody has understood the table chart, I'll move ahead. Try to solve this third question. The number of employees in organization P in 2013 is what percent of number of employees in organization R? So again, divided into two parts, number of employees in organization P in 2013. P in 2013, the common is 8800. So the answer to the first part is 8800. Then get into is what percent of the number of employees in organization are in 2015. R and 2015, this one, 4250. Second part is 4250. So how do we find number of employees in organization P is what percent of the number of employees in organization R? So we'll directly take P's value divided by R into 100 is the percent, right? So what we have found in A, we'll divide it by B and multiply it by 100. So we'll get the final percentage, because that is what is asked. So what percent of the number of employees? When it is written percent of something, this second term becomes the base. So that's why R became the base. So we get right. So here is the final answer. Let me see. Yes, many of you have done it correct. Those who have not understood it, just leave a comment and we'll come back to this again, or else I'll repeat it now itself. Great, guys. Let's get into the next question. So next is mixed chart, and this is what majorly comes in MBA CET. So they won't give you one chart, but they'll give you two different types of charts. That would make the question somewhat complicated. However, all it involves is calculation. It is extremely important that you read the question correctly. This is a question I would want you guys to solve. This is a mix of two charts and somewhat tricky. So read the top line first. Pie chart shows the production of rice by 5 different factories. There are 5 factories, P, Q, M, and O, who produce rice, and the total production is given. Total production is 3600 kg, which is distributed across this pie chart. So those who have understood the pie chart would be able to solve it. Those who have not, I'll repeat it again later. Try to do this and we'll get to know how much we have understood reading the charts. So to get into the basic of this, do just one thing, read this pie chart and try to find out total production across these 5 factories. So first find for P what is the total rice production, for O, M, N, and Q. Find what is the rice production. So for P, it is 25% of the total production, right? It is given 25% of the total. So total is 3600. 25% of the total will be 25. Whenever it is set percent, we directly divide it by 100, as I have explained in the first slide. 25% of 3600. That comes out to be 900. Now I'll tell you the trick once we complete this, that how can we do this fast. First, we'll try to solve it by the basic method, and then we'll try to do it fast. So this is all you have got. Similarly, try to find it for O, M, N, and Q. Now let's get into the first question. What is the ratio of, okay, 1 second. We'll see what this graph represents. Pie chart shows the production of, and the line chart shows the percentage of sale. This second line, just see, the line chart shows percentage of sale. So you have produced something, suppose you have produced 100, out of which how much percentage is sold, percentage of sale, how much percentage is sold. So for M, the percentage sold is 60%. So if M has produced suppose 100, 60% is sold. If N has produced suppose 100, 80% is sold. That is what is represented here. So once we get how much is produced, we'll be directly able to find how much is sold out of this line chart. So let's find out how much is produced for O. So produce will be finding from here. For O, 18%. 18% of 3,600, you do just do the calculation. 1800, 18 upon 100 into 3600. Similarly for M, 20%. 20% of 3600. So once we get this value, we'll go to the question. Find what is the ratio of rice sold by factory P to the rice sold by factory N. Divided into two parts. Rice sold by factory P. Rice sold by factory P, will get to know 88% of whatever is produced is sold by factory P. As we can see here, 88% of whatever is produced is sold. So we know how much has factory P produced from this 900, right? And 88% of that is sold. So again, we'll have to apply the concept 88 upon 100 into 900. And the answer we get is the answer for the first part. I'm sure this you would find confusing. Just let me know if you guys are finding this question confusing. Okay, so let's see only for this particular question. What is the ratio of the rice sold by factory P to the rice sold by factory N? Rice sold by factory P is, so first we'll have to see total rice produced by factory P from this pie chart. Rice produced by factory P is 25% of the overall rice produced, right? 25% of the overall, which is 3,600. Overall is 3,600. So 25% will be 900 as it is shown here. Now, rice sold by P is 88% of the total rice produced, as can be seen from this particular chart. Line chart shows the percentage of sale, 88% for P. So we'll directly find 88% of 900, which is 792. So this is the answer for our first part. This is the answer for the first part of the question. Rice sold by factory P to the rice sold by factory N. Now again do the same steps for N. Let's see. N produced for N is 15% of the total 3,600, right? So 15% of 3,600 will be 540. Yes. Then for N, let's see. what is the percentage sale? 80% of what is produced is sold. 80% of whatever is produced, as can be seen from the line chart. 80% of whatever is produced is sold. So that comes out to be 80% of 540, because 540 is produced by N, and 80% of what is produced by N is sold, which is 432. So we have got again the second part of the answer. This is the second part. Now all we have to do is find the ratio. Ratio is 1 divided by 2. So ratio comes out to be 11 by 6. Let me see how many of you have got the answer correct. 1.8 correct. So 1:8 or 1.8, 1.8. Right, 1.8 would be right. Great. Let me know, guys, if anybody has not understood. Sold one part again. Yes, I'll do it. Okay. Let's get it from the start. Let's read the question first, because that is where the problem begins. Pie chart shows the production of rice by the 5 different factories. Pie chart is this one, and it shows production of rice by 5 different factories. And line chart shows the percentage of sale. This is the line chart that we have understood since we have learned earlier line chart as well as pie chart. Pie chart shows production of rice. Here total production is 3,600, out of which Q has produced 22% of it, M has produced 20% of it, P has produced 25% of it. So that is how we have found out what is the rice produced by P. Okay. Now, what is the line chart representing? Line chart shows percentage of sale. Percentage of sale of what? Percentage of sale of whatever is produced. So suppose I have produced 100 kg rice, out of which I am selling 80 kg. So the percentage of sale is 80%, right? Because out of the 100 I have sold 80. So the percentage of sale is 80. That is how it is represented. So for P, percentage of sale is 88%. That means in case P has produced 100 kg rice, it would have sold 88 kg already. It will sell 80 kg, 88 kg, right? Let me know if this part is understood. Just comment and let me know if this part is understood. Yes, we need to write simply 11:6 for ratio. We don't need to write. Yeah. This part is understood. Okay. Fair enough. Then we'll get into the calculation part. So 88% is the sale. So 88% of 900 for P, 900 is produced. 88% of 900 is sold. So it comes out to be 792. Now we'll again go back to the same concept for N. To the rice sold by factory N. So here we are asked for N. For the rice produced by N was 15% of 3,600, which is 540. This is clear, right? From the pie chart. Now for N, percentage of sale is 80. So if N produces 100 kg, it sells 80 kg. So if N would have produced 540 kg, how much it will sell, right? If N normally produces 100 kg, 80% is the sale. So if N would produce 540 kg, as we got from the pie chart, what would be the sale? Normally we do cross multiplication as well. That is also a method to solve it. Otherwise we'll directly find 80% of 540. The answer would be the same. I hope it is clear now. Or let me know. I'll try to tell you from a different method then. Okay, fair enough. So here we come to the end of charts basically, because this is the question type, the last one that comes in exam. But to solve this, we need basics from the previous one, right? And that is how, so with practice, we would increase our speed. So what is the trick that we apply? You would be saying that, sir, you have already told if we solve it from this basic, it would take a lot of time. So what we can do is, we should directly know, it should be on the tip of our tongue, that 1 by 3 is 33%. So if somebody says somewhere the value written is 33%, so if you are asked to calculate 33.33% of 90, don't go and write 33.33 upon 100 into 90 and then solve it. That would take a lot of time. So you should directly know that 33.33 is 1 by 3. 33.33%, that is 33.33 divided by 100, is 1 by 3. So you'll directly get into the answer phase, 1 by 3 into 90, which is 30. So here you have saved your time. And that is all the trick we apply for DI. There is no other trick. You read the question properly and apply these calculation tricks. So let me relate this to the previous question. So here we had to find 25% of 3600. So there were two methods. Either we'll do 25 upon 100 and then multiply it by 3600, or we should directly know 25% is 1/4 of 25% is 25 upon 100, which is 1 by 4, and we'll directly divide it, directly multiply it by 3600. So our calculation becomes easy. We already know that 4 multiplies by 36 nine times, so 900 is the answer, and that is how we save our time. And that comes with practice. No worries about that. Once you start solving a lot of questions, you will get to know, you will apply these shortcuts. So these are just examples of fraction, percentage, decimals that should be on the tip of our tongue. They would increase as we go to solving the problem. So someone has asked the basic of pie chart. Apart from that, is there any other query? So I'll revisit pie chart once, and okay, first question was the query, right? So let me go from the basic. How do we read a pie chart? 10%. UK, number of tourists going to UK are 10%. USA is 40%. Japan is 30%, and others 20%. So what percentage of Indian tourists went to US or UK? So it is already given in percentage, right? The answer is already given in percentage. So we find it for US are 40% of the Indian tourists. So there are two methods. Some few of the people would be confused that why didn't we consider total number of tourists as 100 and then try to find out total tourists going to US, then UK, and then again find the percentage. Because already the value is given in percentage, we have not done. And the sum of all the values are coming out to be 100 only, right? So total number of tourists that went to US are 40. Total tourists for UK are 10. So what percent of tourists went to US or UK? US or UK means US plus UK, both, not both intersection. How many went to US? How many went to UK? Add those up. So that comes out to be 50. I hope this is clear. Whoever has asked this doubt, just let me know in the comment section if it is clear, or else I'll repeat again. Okay. Fair enough. And few guys had query on third question. Let me revisit. Though do not focus much on this, because this is here it is a concept of percentage, which we would anyway discuss in the percentage chapter. Focus majorly on whether are you able to read these charts. If you have any issues with reading these charts, let me know, because this concept will be covered in percentage, no issues, and that goes into somewhat detail of percentage. All we covered here were basics. Let me know if you still have doubt. Okay, So that's all. One second. Guys, anything else you would want to know, just let us know in the comment section. And apart from that, contact. And if you still have any query, just leave a message on the number shown here and you can contact. Okay, thank you.
Thanks a lot, Pranay. So I hope the lecture was up to your expectations and you have got all the different questions which can be a part of your entrances. We'll be running further 2 more demo lectures on different subjects and different topics. So if you are interested for further demo lectures, just reach out onto the contact number mentioned. You can reach out to any of these numbers and they'll keep you posted about the upcoming demo lectures. 8692820106, or else you can also contact onto the number which I'm just typing in the chat box. You can reach out to that number as well. Probably it's from the same number from which you might have received logins. So reach out to us for further demo lectures if you are interested. Thank you so much for your patience. Hopefully it was up to your expectations. Thanks everyone. Thanks Pranay.
Akash, yeah, there is someone who wants to see the bar chart. First question, let me just show. Okay. Yes. There's the second question here. I hope this is clear now. Yeah, so we have done the simplification, right? 29 by 54. Yeah, in ratio, you leave it at the simplification itself. Of the mix chart. Of the mix chart, you again need, okay, 1 second. On what specific part you have not understood in the mix chart? I'll take that question again. Yeah. You don't need to calculate the ratio in point. You can leave it till the simplification itself. That is correct. Once again, I'll just get back to the mix chart. Once again, okay. So what in mix chart? Again, read the question. The first pie chart shows the 5 factory. What is the production? Line chart shows the percentage of the production sold, right? So if you want to solve it from the basics, just write down the question. I'll tell you the method how you should solve it, and let us know at the number that is shared if you can still not solve it. Find the production for P, Q, M, N, and O, all. Just write down the production for all the numbers. And have you guys understood how to find the production? Directly 25% of the 3600 directly write it at P. 25% of 3600 is 900. Directly write it here. Then for Q, then for M, N, O. Then go to line chart. So in case you want to find out for 1 second. In case you want to find out for P, 88% of whatever is produced is sold, is what we get to know from this. Pie chart shows percentage of sale. 88% of whatever we are producing, which we got to know from P is producing 900. So 88% of that is sold. So 88% of that, whatever be the value X, will be sold. Similarly, we find the rice sold for factory N. So out of the produced for N, which is 15%, 540 is the produce for N. 80% of that is sold. Okay. Directly find whatever is the answer and take the ratio. That's it. Right. Let me show you the answer. I hope this is clear now. This is the answer. Okay. Okay. So it is clear. Guys, you can contact on this number. Uh,
All right, so thanks a lot, everyone. Thanks, Pranay. We'll keep you
yeah.
posted about the further demo lectures, and yes, it will be a different topic, a different subject, just to showcase how are the different subjects going to be taught in an easier way at our end. Thank you so much, everyone. You can forward your feedbacks to us on the given contact number. It would be great, and thank you so much.